Today we play golf.
Let me show you how we do it in the pros.
Welcome to Behind the Golf Brand Podcast.
I never miss with the 7-iron.
A conversation with some of the most interesting innovators and entrepreneurs behind the biggest names in golf.
My friends were the golf clubs. I lived on the golf course. I lived on the driving range.
From pro talk.
You should learn something from each and every single round you play in.
To fun from on and off the green.
Why would you play golf if you don't play it for money?
Just let me put the ball in the hole.
This is Behind the Golf Brand Podcast with Paul Liberatore. Behind the Golf Brand Podcast is sponsored by On Point, the revolutionary three-dimensional domed golf ball marker. On Point provides alignment recognition as small as a degree of inaccuracy from the planned course of the putt face angle. Endorsed by Jim Furyk, U.S. Open champion and 17-time PGA Tour winner. On Point alignment technology has been proven to increase putting performance and help lower your score. Visit onpointgolf.us and be sure to use code GA10 for a 10% discount. On Point, make more putts.
What's up, guys? Paul from Golfers Authority. Welcome to the Behind the Golf Brand Podcast. This week, I have my friend Zach Vanderveldt from Rain or Shine Golf. If you guys don't know what Rain or Shine Golf is, you're going to know very soon because it's pretty much the premier place to get anything for training, sims. It's pretty cool. What these guys did over the last couple of years, how they took, all this hodgepodge information out there on how to build a sim and, all this stuff. And they actually built a business around it and helping guys like all of us, build, either a sim in your house or get the right equipment so you can go practice and have, the latest in tech. It's really cool. It's a niche that wasn't even being catered really. It was kind of half-ass out there, but it's so cool. So you got to check out their website, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Zach.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Paul. Appreciate it.
Zach's from Wisconsin, but he likes the Red Wings. Explain that.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a hockey team in Wisconsin.
Which is so weird, right? You'd think they should.
Yeah. And I wasn't about to be a Blackhawks fan. No offense to
big mistake.
Blackhawks fans out there.
I'm a Blackhawks fan.
Oh, yeah?
I used to be. Well, I still am.
We'll have to end this call then.
Oh, sorry. I meant a Blackhawks fan. I meant the Iowa team.
But yeah, I don't know. We just, my dad was a big hockey player and he had actually played with a couple of the players on the Red Wings from the 90s. So we just we just kind of, I don't know, piggybacked off of that and
who?
Their style. Fedorov, Sergei Fedorov, and a couple of Russian players.
Is he had Russian? Or is he
he's
Canadian?
Latvian.
He does Latvian?
So,
that's freaking cool as well, dude.
Yeah.
I know that's that's way.
You're one of the few people who know that it's even a country.
It's a small country, right?
Yes, it is.
By Estonia.
Yeah, it's tiny.
And
Latvia
and what's the other country over there? There's 3 of them, right?
Lithuania.
Yeah.
Estonia.
That's cool as hell.
Are kind of that.
So your dad did your dad play in the NHL or did he play Russian hockey or what did he do?
Yeah, he played over in Russia. They've got a Russian elite
really good Russian
there.
team.
Yeah, it's good. And he came over here, played for Wisconsin Badgers for a little while.
For college?
Yep.
That's awesome. But he didn't. Did he not want to pursue? Did he want to go pro and didn't happen? Or
he did. He was pursuing it. I mean, I think it just didn't work out. You know how it works. Sometimes it's
really hard.
Injuries and
you're out.
But he did play professionally in Europe for a while. So,
what position did your dad play?
He was a defenseman.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's the hardest job on the ice, I think, personally, because you're it's
taking
2 of you, right? There's 2 of you, and you got to skate. I feel like you have to skate a lot more than most of the guys because you're always back.
Yeah. I got the easy job. I was a forward, so it's
really what left or right wing or center.
I was a center. Center, but
you're a hockey player too. So I'm a hockey player. I played hockey out in Arizona when we only had 3 rinks for hockey out here. It was horrible, and the ice was crap.
Yeah.
It was slushy. It was always so it never froze.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I feel that now being down here in Charlotte. There's a little bit of hockey, but it's not the same as back up at home. But
don't they have this team though? The Hurricane, was it? Who do they have?
Yeah, Carolina Hurricanes.
Panthers,
but they're out of Raleigh. Yeah, Panthers are in Florida, but they're out of Raleigh, so it's a bit of a
I never knew that.
Hike from Charlotte, but
yeah, it's a far drive, right? That's like what, 2 hours?
Yeah, a couple hours.
Well, that's what happened here. Like right when I went to college, like the Coyotes came here, and it was awesome because they were downtown. Downtown's like 20 minutes to no matter where you lived in Phoenix at the time. But then they had this great idea. They wanted a free arena to go put it on the west side of town, which I don't like. And it's an hour and 15 minutes to the place. I'm like, I'm not going. Forget it. Like why would I drive hour and 15 minutes to watch a hockey game? There's just no way. You're not even that good. So they did have Jeremy Roenick on the team.
It makes no sense. Yeah.
So, that's how the show goes, man. Like you talk about hockey.
Hey,
I love hockey.
Yeah. That was my first sport, and
really?
That was a sport I took a little bit more seriously, but golf was always probably my favorite, and to this day it's definitely more of my jam.
So you're not like a pro or anything, right?
No.
You're like hell to the no.
I mean, my handicap says I'm a 4, but I'm playing more like a 7 right now.
You're good.
I mean, my business partner, he's more of the golfer. He's a +1, so he's pretty good.
Holy
Kicks my ass every time we go out there. But yeah, I mean, I've hit a fade my entire life, and I finally recently fixed it, and was hitting like this nice, straight ball or tiny mini draw, and was all fired up about it. Had a couple nice rounds.
And then what happened?
And then I started to get in my head and overthinking things. And now I'm, God knows what I'm shooting, but that's how golf goes. You
constantly
work on a couple of things and then, overthink things. But
so,
I'm more of a casual golfer for sure. And
but casual golfer is good. I mean, you're hitting below 80. Right, so you're not totally embarrassing.
Serviceable. No.
I used to be able to below 80, and then I was golfing every day, and I'm just like, when you play like a ton of golf like every day, you get good, because you just learn. It's like you're always like, okay, that's what I did wrong, but then it's like, shit, I don't even know what my handicap is. I'm actually like, I started getting lessons again, like just because my goal is to break 80 in the next year. Like I want to I want to do that, like literally. It may be like, my goal is probably to like break 80 and like court it, and like show people like, look, you can do it if you just figure out whatever. Yeah. And so, I don't know what my handicap is. Like I gotta go figure it out. It's going to be really bad. It's going to be so embarrassing. I'm afraid to say it.
That's all right. I mean,
they're like, dude, you want a golf website and your handicap's that bad? And I'd be like, that's why I want a golf website.
Right.
Who do you think I am, Zach? I'm not Zach. So you grew up in Wisconsin, right? And you went to UW, which I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm sorry for you.
No,
You're the Purdue fan, so.
Poor Purdue.
Hey, I will say that despite the Badgers being pretty good, that's like the worst part about them. They are always good, always in contention, and then they just find a way to rip your heart out in the most just evil way.
Michigan and Michigan State, same thing, right? They always
yeah.
Well, Purdue is consistently bad, right? So like if we win, it's just like cool.
Exactly. They never rip your heart out though.
Not
like
really.
The Badgers, it's always like, oh, this is our year. We're finally going to win a championship. We're finally going to win a Rose Bowl. And they always just dangle a carrot in front of us.
You want to hear the saddest story
never get it done.
I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna tell you the saddest story ever. I graduated from Purdue, and like that next fall was when Purdue was like amazing, right? And that's when Drew, like half that team went to the NFL, right? Like Drew Brees, Matt Light, like all these guys. So my fraternity brothers at the time, I was 22. I was like your age. Just kidding. I was like
I might
talking to this
look like
guy the other day, and I was like, he just graduated from ASU, and I was like I was looking at his like, it was like a picture on his Instagram of him and his mom, and I'm like, that looks like someone with the high school with like that, because I realized like, oh, I could probably be this dude's dad. Anyway, sorry, I digress. But then
she gave me 22.
You're 29. I remember when I was 29. Probably being 40 something. I'm 43, dude.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. 30s coming in hot. But anyway.
Yeah, but 30s are fun. Well,
back to your story.
30s, I was in law school, and that was shitty. And I had 2 babies too at the time, so it was really hard. But I go to the Rose Bowl, right? Because Purdue made it to the Rose Bowl. First time in 20 years, right? So the last time they did was 1970 something, right? 25 years, like 74. We were so bad. The last good quarterback we had was Jim Everett. If anybody wants to know, like the history, like Purdue has had a good quarterback like every 25 years. Like, and before that was Brian Greasy as the dad, right? I don't know. Remember Greasy played for the Bears?
Yeah.
In Michigan. Anyways, we go to the Rose Bowl. It's freaking the coolest thing ever, right? We got our ass kicked from freaking Washington. Like, it was like we didn't even show up that day, and it was so sad. And of course, I have like a Rose Bowl T-shirt. It says like Purdue Rose Bowl, and it's like they lost. So I was like, I want to wear it, you know?
Okay. I know what it's like to lose in the Rose Bowl. Badgers know better than anyone. So,
so you graduated from UW, and then what'd you do? Like, where you work? Like, what was your degree in?
Marketing and supply chain. So yeah, after I graduated.
Now. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But honestly, like, yeah, they teach you a lot of like book stuff in college and stuff like that. So honestly,
college is so overrated. Like, when we're kids, you think, oh, I go to college to get a good job. No, you don't. You just need to be smart.
Yeah.
You don't even go to college. You don't need to go to college. I have a lot of college. I can tell you right now, you don't know college kids.
Yeah. I mean, I loved Madison. I loved UW. Awesome. The education was great, but like, I mean,
and the time,
I don't know, like you just figure stuff out. Like when you're starting like a small business, like you just got to figure stuff out. So I think that's just kind of our strategy. But anyway, after I graduated college, I started working for a Kohler company, a big kitchen and bath, company. It basically got a little bored, and
I can't see why.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. And my business partner, he was working, Shawn. He was working in insurance, and
oh God, it's like,
even more boring.
You can make a lot of money in insurance, but only after like 40 years at it. You have like a pyramid underneath you of people that have like insurance.
Yeah. So we just, I don't know, we just had an entrepreneurial itch, I guess. Wanted to, start our own company that was a little bit more fun.
What year was that? Like, when did you guys? Because you guys have been friends forever, right?
Yeah, we were high school golf teammates. That's where we got to know each other, became buds. And then, we just kind of stayed in touch after high school, obviously. And then, after I only made it I only made it like 10 or 11 months in the corporate world before I'm like, okay,
I'm going to
start something on my own.
I was able to the first time.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. I did for 5 and then I quit. I was like, I can't do this. I had this thought, right? I had this thought. I remember driving in traffic for reals, right? I was 22, 23. I was stuck in traffic and there's cars everywhere. And it was like 7:45 in the morning, right? And I go, like, I got this really sad feeling. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the rat race. Like, you just realize like, college is like nothing like the real world. And you're like, this.
Yes.
My first job, my first job was, I worked for America West Airlines, right? And they're not around anymore. US Airways is them. Well, no, they're not around either. American. My first job out of college was, I was 23 probably, right? Doing internal investigations for maintenance related like issues where I then would like, so like, I'll give you an example. Like one of the jobs one time, like, what engine cowling is, like the big thing around the engine of an airplane. That thing fell off, right? During takeoff in Las Vegas, it fell off and just hit the ground, right? The engine didn't fall off, but the whole because the dude the night before didn't lock it down, right? So it came back, did emergency landing. You know what my job was? I had to go figure out what happened, why it happened. I had to write I had to tell the FAA, right? Because if you don't tell the FAA, you can get fined. So what you do is you self-disclose. That is the worst job in the world. You know why? You're literally a narc. That's what you are, right? Everybody
As long
hates
as you weren't doing the repairs.
Pretty much like I said, yeah, the guy who got fired is a lot worse. But me, it's like, I hated that job. I hated that job every part of my body. And then I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to tell you more of the story. This is actually a really good story.
I can relate to that.
So then I hated this job, right? So this is the cool part of my story. Actually, I never told this story before. So I want to be a pilot, right? That's what I'm doing after this. So I want to be a pilot. And that's what the school for. But I need to get a job to pay for flight lessons. So one time I had to do an investigation and we had to go to the flight group. And I became friends with the senior check airman, which is like the head guy of like training all the pilots, right? His name is Van Reevy, right? So Van, I go to like literally Van knew I hated my job, right? He's high up in the company. He's like number 5 pilot. I was like, I hate my job. We live in the same neighborhood. I went to high school with his son. Do you know who his son is?
No.
Chaz Reevy on the PGA Tour.
Oh,
so he'd be like, oh yeah, and I went to high school with Chaz, right? So he'd be like, oh yeah, Chaz I played for ASU. He's like, oh yeah, Chaz is going to the Masters, or Chaz. He's like, going to the Masters. I was like, cool. And now I'm like, oh man, that'd be so rad. Sorry. You never know where the show's gonna go.
Yeah, exactly. Nice.
So you hated your job, like everybody who gets out of college, unless you're like, I don't even know, a cool job out of college. And then how'd you guys start the site? Like, did you just start building things or?
Yeah, I was just kind of dabbling on the side a little bit at a couple e-commerce businesses.
Doing what? It's okay. I love this stuff. This is the stuff I love.
My first site was beanbag chairs.
How'd that do?
Terrible.
Really?
Terrible.
Were you drop shipping them or were you?
Yeah.
From China or what? Or from a distributor?
No, it was from the US, but yeah, it was just like, okay, I left
super
this
hyper
job.
niched. Yeah.
Yeah. And I left this job that I disliked to start a business that I'm not passionate about. Like, what's the point of this? So that was like a big thing. Like, we were like, when Shawn and I came together, like, obviously we had a mutual interest in golf, and, it just became clear to us, like, we need to start a golf company. Like, that's what we love. And
you know what I was always taught? I was taught, like, if you're going to build a brand, seriously, they said, if you're up, you have to ask yourself right before you make this company or whatever, if it's 2:00 in the morning and something's broken on your website, are you going to give a shit at 2:00 in the morning? Or are you going to be like, whatever? And if that's what you have, that's the question you have to ask yourself. And like, that's why with golf, I was like, well, yeah, I would fix it right away. Right. But if it was like bag chairs, I'd be like, whatever. I'll fix it.
Yeah. I mean, if there are any like listeners out there who are looking to start a business and like you love golf, like that'd be my like tip. Like, just like do something you're passionate about. That's
whatever that is. Like
important.
Because that's just going to keep you going, right? When you're making like no money for a long time, you're gonna be like, well, I enjoy what I'm doing,
Even if you're not starting a business too, like even if you're just working, like just do something that
life's
you
short,
enjoy.
Man. Life is short. And like, before you know it, you're old. You don't want to be some bitter old person like, oh, I didn't do anything in my life. No, it's like, just go. That's
exactly.
Sorry. That's like,
enjoy. I mean, you're spending. No, I enjoy those soapboxes. I mean, you're spending half of your life at work. You better enjoy it. So,
dude, I've like been a pilot, and then I went to law school. I've been a lawyer. I'm a lawyer right now. Like, I don't know. And I'm always, I like doing this. My favorite thing to do is like business stuff. Like, I love it. That's part of my law job that I like, is helping people navigate that and figure that out. Right. And like, it's that, and I don't know. It's just fun to help people, I guess. But I like this better. I'll tell you that for damn sure. Like, this is so much fun. Like, I don't know. When it's not a job, like what you guys are doing, it's your job, but it's not a job. You know what I mean? Like, it's different.
It's fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun for sure.
So
and work with good people too.
Were you guys both in Wisconsin when you started? Like, and then
So when we started, it was just two of us, working from our laptops, just trying to get started. I mean, we had some awesome partnerships with companies that we work with today. Just drop shipping, but kind of a theme of over the last couple of years, we've just tried to continue to try to improve the customer experience and make it a better, more streamlined experience. So there are multiple different pieces to the golf simulator, puzzle. You got, a golf mat, you got a launch monitor, you got a hitting bay, you got a projector, you got a computer and HDMI cables and things like that. So it wasn't the best customer experience when customers were getting things from drop ship from all over the place and in different shipments. So yeah, we wanted to kind of streamline that. Now we have a warehouse and, try to ship everything out all at once. And not only just, the shipping experience, but our website too. That's, what we're about. I'm trying to just streamline this experience rather than, people going out and trying to figure this out on their own. It's
especially in sales, right? Like, I was taught, one of my mentors taught me, I always think about this. He says, a cluttered mind says no, right? He always used to say that to me. And that's what his mentor taught him, who owns like half of Sedona now, right? And so like, I'm like, and because we were talking about like, when you do sales, and I was in sales a little bit, and I'm like, what does that even mean? He's like, look, dude, if you put too much stuff in people's heads at one time, they're just going to shut down. They're just not going to do it.
Yes.
And so you have to, and I was like, and I always think about that, right? Like, and if they're not talking, right, then you need to not be talking either, because you're just going to be like, you're just overloading that person with information or whatever it is. Like, and I feel like that's what I looked at your guys' website. Everyone, like I told him earlier, like his website looks really good. Like it's very clear and clean. And it's like, okay, I can navigate on the homepage and go to where I want. Like you're not, the experience of the user is funneling them to what they want to buy, not so much like a hodgepodge of shit everywhere. And it's like, oh, I got to buy that. I got to buy this. Wait, what else? You don't want to make a list. Yeah.
It's a lot to weed through. And, there are, 20, 30 different golf mats and 20 different launch monitors. And, one thing that we try to do is literally we will only sell, the best of the best stuff that we actually truly recommend. And sadly, we're one of the, few companies out there who are actually using these products on a consistent basis ourselves. Our whole sales team's using these products every day. So we definitely kind of pride ourselves on making sure that, when we recommend something, that we truly stand by it as, the best solution. So, so that's kind of a part of it too, just really helping people get rid of the clutter and, two, just rather than having you just navigate a website, we've got our inside sales team too.
It's really
here
smart. I was talking to another really big brand in the apparel company I'm friends with, and what you're saying is literally the same thing that they said too. Like we were talking about, I'll just say, like, we're talking about my new website, right? Like my Legion site. And he's like, it looks great, whatever. But he's like, there's certain elements that, he's like, and he started telling me things I should change to better the experience. And I didn't think like building a site for information is not the same as building an e-com site. They're completely different sites, right? And like the navigation is so important, especially like with what you guys are doing, because it's very technical, right? Like it's not you're selling a hat, right? Or it's like you're building, someone's building, like what's the most expensive simulator setup?
Gets above 20,000.
Yeah. Like, and what's
right around 20,000. I mean, you could get by with a couple $100, probably 500 or so.
And most of it's like the launch monitor, right? And that kind of
thing. That's like a simple, launch monitor mat setup. But
you don't even need a screen, right?
Yeah. No, you don't. To get started, you could just have a simple net and a little launch monitor.
What's that one that's like really expensive? That one launch monitor is like 10 grand. I can't think of the name of it. What's it called?
I don't think we sell it. You're probably talking about Pro T, but the premium ones that we go for, the Unicore, it's a really nice overhead launch monitor, awesome indoors, and Foresight Sports has some awesome launch monitors too.
You Foresight, that's what it was.
The Tour Pros, out on the range with their launch monitors, but they're also great indoors as well.
I'm trying to figure out the name of it, because like I talked to them and they wanted me to buy one. Well, I was like, dude, I don't have that kind of money, right? Like that's crazy money. Like, I mean, it's
and that's
awesome.
the thing.
It's like,
that's the thing.
You can buy a car, Like
yes, that's the thing. I think in the past, people, or maybe still, people have this perception that you have to drop, 30, 40 grand on one of these things. And it doesn't have to be that. You can definitely get started with a cheaper launch monitor and a cheap net and kind of work your way up from there, to get, really, like, you can get an awesome experience, starting at around, 5. But if you're just trying to, work on your game, work on your swing in your backyard when you got, some free time, like I said, you can get by with a few $100 too. So a lot of different ways you can get into it, and it definitely doesn't have to, cost you a car.
Well, I think that's something that's interesting too, because you're seeing it with like the smaller launch monitors, like the Rapsodo and the Mevo that you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're very, very similar when it comes to outdoor, right? But I feel like the real differentiator, which they're both striving for, I feel like, is indoor, right? Like for the guy who wants to hit it in his basement, right, in the wintertime.
Yeah.
That's
what we're about.
Yeah, that's what people really. Yeah, that's the money, right? Like, not the money, but that's what's really important here. Not like, oh, I'm cool at the driving range. It's like, no, you're buying this setup to do it indoors, right? Essentially, like.
Yeah. And that was kind of like a big inspiration for wanting to start the company. Like Shawn and I, like we said, grew up in Wisconsin. We got snow on the ground 6 months out of the year. So we got 6 months out of the year we can't play golf. And Shawn, when in high school, he built out a little indoor putting green in his basement. And that was the original idea for the business, to be a indoor putting green business. And it kind of, somehow led into, golf simulation as well. But, that was a big inspiration for us, is just to give people a more convenient solution to, play more golf and spend more time with your buds, and your kids. That's really, really like what we're truly about. It's not necessarily about helping people hit longer drives or shoot lower scores. Of course, what golfer doesn't want to shoot, lower scores and hit longer drives? But at the end of the day, we kind of we see our products as a way to get people to hang out more, like during the winter or, at nights, like, man, like kids are sitting on their iPads every night, on the couch. Like, what if we could like get them to be hanging out with, their dad or their mom and sister, like in the basement, like playing on a sim, playing golf. That's what fires us up, I guess. And
I got to figure out how to put a sim in my garage. I don't know how to do this, because we still open the garage. So I don't know. I'm looking at my garage right now. Like, where the sim at? But it really not a place to put it.
That one's probably, most of our customers put them in their garage. Like I don't have the ceiling height in my house.
I don't think I do either.
Yeah. But the garage, if you got like 8 feet, ceiling. Just get out your driver and see if you can pull it off. But most of our customers put them in their garage, and that's the way to go.
You guys have a great website, like, for reals. It's just so clean. Like, it's so clean, and it's, I don't know. Like, I don't really compliment. Like, I'm a website nerd, right? So I'm like, okay, I like it. I like what you guys did.
Appreciate it.
Because what you did, I know you're ranking for some of these keywords. I've seen your guys is like, which is awesome, because you got to remember, for people out there, he's e-com, right? It's almost impossible for an e-com brand to rank for keywords like best of whatever, right? Like, it just is. Like, Google doesn't allow it, but you guys do, because you have good shit, and it's all right there. Like, if you want to build like something in your house, like, what's your price point? Okay, well, here's what you can get. And you also simplify the process, right? Because you're like, here are all the pieces, right? You buy this set, here's the pieces, and then you can put together. Not like, oh, I have to buy that.
Right.
I got to figure out which one makes the best, or this stuff's made in China,
Yeah, definitely. And again, too, like, just a lot of people, I think one interesting thing over the last year, and it's kind of like a e-commerce statistic, I guess, but e-commerce grew in 1 year what we were projecting in 10 years. So all of a sudden, people who weren't shopping online, all of a sudden, all of their stores got shut down, and now all of a sudden they're forced to shop online. So that's something that we are empathetic about. And we want to accommodate the people who are now all of a sudden shopping online and have never made a purchase like this online. We want to try to provide that level of, I guess, care that you would
almost like they're
expect
walking into your store, literally.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
You're walking them. You get that feeling when I'm on the site that you're literally showing them around, right? Okay,
yes.
You want to look at this? Here's over here, even though it's a website, which that's very hard to do,
and you call us up, and our guys actually know, and gals actually know what they're talking about. They've tried these products out themselves, and they can walk you through that process, just like someone who would walk you through a real in retail store. So that's something that we I think it's interesting. We definitely pride ourselves on, and last year, obviously, just with COVID, threw all of us through a big whirlwind.
How was last year for you guys?
Pretty bananas. I mean, obviously people were stuck at home, naturally wanted, in-home setup. So demand was through the roof, but also we had a lot of supply issues, and we're still dealing with some supply issues. So a lot of the launch monitor, components were, back ordered and having some issues. We just couldn't keep up, frankly. And it was tough. It was a big challenge from that standpoint, but, certainly very, blessed, because, a lot of companies obviously last year, didn't do so well. So, it was a crazy year for sure.
So you guys have an affiliate program, or are you guys tailoring it more now?
Yes, we do have an affiliate program. Yeah. Just want to get the word out more about what we're doing. So, work with, some companies like yours, I guess, and other bloggers and
you're
that. So,
dude, you have a high DR. You know what DR is, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I know you're a nerd. I know it. I know. I've seen your website. I know
yes,
your
I am.
Built on the backside.
Well, we got
I know. I can
nerds.
tell right away. This dude knows what he's doing. It comes.
I'm not the only nerd.
Hey, I'm a nerd. It's cool as hell, man. That's smart as. You're a higher DR than I am. Okay, for all the nerds out there, DR is domain rating, and that shows you how strong your backlink profile is, and that means that he has a lot of backlinks. That means that people are linking to his website, that even if he's not even selling it, they're still wanting because they're an authority, right? You're an authority on Sims.
Hopefully,
and he has big links, right?
Awesome. Yeah. Hopefully that's because our products are awesome, and people love us. So
who did all your SEO stuff? Did you?
I started, and then kind of passed it on to our team, and
because you're busy, and you're like, I can't do all this.
Yeah, well, they're smarter than I am, so
I just scan
it's better that way
right now on Ahrefs while you're talking. So I'm like, why is this? I'm like, dude, and then I'm like, oh, I see why. That's awesome though, because you got links from Golf WRX, you have links from Golf Newsnet. There's some big sites, Golf Steed. That's crazy.
Yeah. Hopefully, one thing that we're kind of focusing on is just creating more of our own in-house products. So I think a lot of people just have this perception that we're just reselling all of this stuff, and we're starting to create our own in-house products. So one of them, for example, is a golf mat, and we're in a nice spot where we get tons of customer feedback from people. The reason why we created Swing Turf as golf mat was because one of our best selling golf mats, people were saying, "Oh, this thing is too tough. My joints are starting to hurt." And we had this other golf mat that people were saying, oh, it's a little bit too forgiving. Like it's not even realistic really. So, we kind of took that feedback. It's like, okay, like let's create the golf mat with like the perfect level of forgiveness that our customers are asking for. So we created Swing Turf, and now we're just kind of trying to snowball that. Like we want to create more of our own in-house products just based off of what people are asking for, and we're listening. So.
So was like the initial vision of Rain or Shine, was that like more of an affiliate site or was it a drop shipping site?
It was drop shipping starting out, because like we talked about
better
before the call,
margins with drop shipping than there is affiliate, right? I mean, obviously.
Yeah. And we were we wanted to do the customer service. Shawn, my co-founder, was starting out, taking all of our customer calls, and he enjoyed it. And that's what, people wanted. Like they didn't want just a website. Like wanted to be able to reach out to us to talk.
Yeah, because they're going to have questions. It's not like easy. It's not like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah. So we started out drop shipping. I mean, because we had to, like we talked about before the call, we're pretty scrappy and didn't have a ton of money. We're just fresh out of college.
Yeah, but it's brilliant though.
That's how we started. But now we're, we've scaled things up. We got a warehouse and a team and things like that. But
that's like the Cinderella story, man. Seriously, for like people for guys out there that want to like do their own thing and like start their own brand. Like here's a perfect example. It's hard. Like I work with a lot of people like you, and there's not a lot of people out there that like figured it out as they went along. That makes sense. Like, like if you say, well, I don't have any money, how can I start a website? It doesn't cost that much money to start a website, right? Like if you can find drop shippers or you can find affiliate, there's ways of funding your site to make money. Right. Now don't listen to that bullshit on YouTube where it's like, oh, I made $10,000 on it. That doesn't exist. Like I'll tell you right now, that doesn't exist. Or like I sold.
And that's the thing. Like it's like I hear all the time, like from like different buddies and people reaching out to me, like they just go into it like as like a cash grab situation, and like I think
the cash loss.
Right. The reason why like we've been successful is because like we had the right mindset where we're here to like help people, and that's the way
you have to go to
run our business, like doing it the right way. I think that's just super important. So no,
I totally agree. And like you can just tell, I could tell you knew what you're doing. Like I think this is the first time I've actually like ever have seen somebody know what they're doing. I know you're doing it. Like it's smart. No, like for reals. Because most people will just be like, I have a product, it's X, or I have a brand, it's Y. But they don't think about anything else, right? They don't think about the infrastructure, the supply chain, the website, like how am I going to get traffic to my website? That's a huge, big deal. Like that's the biggest deal of all of this, because none of that stuff matters if you have nobody going to your site. And I could tell like you guys did it right. Like kudos. That's badass actually. Like, I mean, you rank for some keywords and I'm like, holy crap. Like, did you know you rank? I'm going to tell you this because I'm a nerd. So look at this. Like you guys rank, where to go? You are number 4 on Google for golf simulator. Like it's 25,000 searches a month. The word golf simulator, not best golf simulator, just the word golf simulator, right? That's a big deal because you know how hard it is to do that. Like that's super, 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 super hard. And you guys are number 4. That means that's your number 1 page, by the way, or that's the number 1 keyword. But like, I just think that's amazing because you're probably you're getting a boatload of traffic. I can tell you guys get a boatload of traffic on your website.
Yeah. Well, we got there because we put out a really good article that we actually put a ton of time into.
That's why
tried out the products ourselves.
That's why Google rewarded it. Yeah, exactly. You don't understand, like, crap in, crap out, right? So like if you don't write a good article or you don't give a good information, Google knows. Sorry, it's like they just know. So it's like they go, oh, this is crap. Now, not all the time. I know people are going to argue with me and they'll be like, well, what about this website? They're number 1 for this keyword. Well, it's not perfect, right? But I mean, here's a good example. Like that article probably ranks for thousands of keywords. That's just one of them, So is your background like in like when you made the first version of Rain or Shine, was that you or your partner who made the website? Probably you, right?
I built the website, but I mean, it was our idea together. Yeah. And it's just, I think Shawn and I from the beginning have had very complementary skill sets, which has been awesome. Like, it's nice too that we're, such close friends. I was the best man in his wedding.
That's special though, because it's hard if you have a partner, it's really hard to have a partner, number one. But number two, that like you guys are friends and you guys did this together.
And we're very yin and yang, like things that I like to do and I'm good at, he's not good at, and vice versa.
Like, I don't think you would have had the growth the way you guys had it if you didn't have each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Or you would look like me. You'd be like all tired and old, like, oh man.
It's not easy, having a business partner, but it's been definitely but just fulfilling. So
you guys can not delegate, but you're able to just complement each other and be like, okay, you do this and I do that.
Yeah.
You just know it gets done. Not like I do everything and I'm tired, I'm going to take a nap,
For sure. Give each other a knuckle sandwich every once in a while when we need it.
Sandwich, my mom always says to me.
Is that like a Midwestern thing?
It has to be a Midwest thing. Seriously. For reals, I really think it is.
I get called out from time to time now. I'm down here in Charlotte. But
why'd you guys pick Charlotte? Because of the winter? Or like who moved there first? Like there's a million places to live.
Yeah. So my wife and I, like our whole family's up in Wisconsin. We're pretty cozy and happy. Yeah, we were pretty cozy and happy in Wisconsin. And Shawn and his fiance at the time were like, guys, we can't do this anymore. Love Wisconsin, but can't do these winters. It was probably one of those winters that extended into May or something.
Oh yeah.
They had about enough. And the original idea was she got a job offer in Memphis, and no offense to Memphis, anyone who's listening from Memphis, no offense, but it wasn't at the top of our list of places to move. And then she got another job offer in Charlotte. We're like, oh, that seems like a pretty cool place to move. Good golf, good weather, good people. So we somehow ended up here. A lot of golfers down here. So, we knew when they moved, we needed to open our first office. That was back in 2018. So a little bit easier to hire down in Charlotte than up in Wisconsin. So
I can see that.
Yeah. And we wanted to hire golfers too.
Well, it's year round, right? Like it's not like your golf is not 4 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it snow there in Charlotte?
No. Ever? I mean, maybe like once and it'll melt almost
10,000
immediately.
years.
Yeah. So that's been nice, but yeah, we love it down here.
I love this site. This site is freaking brilliant, dude. Oh my God. You did something special. I'm not kidding. I'm literally blown away with your site right now. For real. Like, I'm not here to kiss your ass. I'm just like, these guys are smart. I don't know.
Well,
I'll tell you about offline why I think that is, but it's just like, holy crap.
Well, I appreciate it, but
badass.
You guys
are crushing. I know you guys are crushing it. I just know it because the way you built your site and the way you built like your brand, brilliant. Really, I've never seen it like that ever. I've never seen it because you're almost like a hybrid in a way, right? Like, the site is for reals. Like, it's just cool. That's awesome. I don't know.
Yeah,
I nerd out on this because like people don't understand. That's so hard to do. It's so freaking hard to build a site and like
do it right
the right way.
Takes a lot of time.
Like, what percentage of your traffic comes from organic? I bet a shit ton.
Over 50%.
Yeah. Way over
60%.
50. I bet it's like 70 I bet, or something. And then you run ads too?
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some ads running.
That's the hard part. I hate running ads. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Are you running Google ads or are you running like Facebook?
Yeah.
Or both?
Both.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
This is behind the brand. Like, you're learning all kinds of cool stuff about how to run a business.
Yeah.
This stuff's hard.
Yeah,
definitely. So when did you guys start the site?
2016.
Dude.
So we've been running for 5 years now and keep growing. And
when did you guys move
last year was...
When did you guys move down to Charlotte?
2018. Wait, sorry, 2019. I'm mixing up the year. 2018 and
2020 is a blur, man. Like,
I know.
I don't even remember it.
Right. But yeah, we've since we came down, we've blew out of our first office pretty quick, blew out of our next office again pretty quick. So we're in our third office in 2.5 years. So I mean, this industry just in general is just booming, and we're super excited about it. I think just more and more people are, realizing you can golf at home and do it for a little bit more of a reasonable price than they once thought. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun, and just excited to see kind of where things go the next couple of years. It's still a relatively new industry. Like, 5 years ago probably was when it really started to pick up some steam. But I mean, we're just kind of excited to be a part of this, and hopefully, keep it going.
I'm just really impressed. So I don't say that often, but I like what you guys are doing. I like what you guys have done. I think it's super cool. I think it's really cool too. I didn't know that you guys are going to make your own products based off feedback, because that's kind of like what everybody kind of wants to do, right? Like that's kind of what I'm doing with like my Legion brand. It's like, you know what is good and what's not so good, or like you want to make the best stuff, and you're like, oh, that guy makes the best stuff, or those two combined. It's like, that's like next level.
And it,
you know what I mean?
And and it sucks. Like some of the products we were selling before from other companies, like, we, stood behind the products, but, when you hear customers say, oh, I wish, it would have had this, this, or this, like, like you want to provide a solution for them. So that's just like our mindset with it. It's just to really, again, just listen to our customers and give them what they want. And we're just going to keep doubling down on that.
So you do double down. But I mean, essentially, like in the next couple of years, you guys have your own line of stuff, right? Like,
oh yeah,
not the tech. I mean, maybe a technology, maybe, right? But maybe you don't really need, like. But do you really need to? Probably not. If you know the peripherals, right? Like that's low hanging fruit.
The launch monitor technology on the market right now is solid, and we've got some awesome partners. So our bread and butter so far has been in, the golf mats, hitting bays. We rolled out a hitting net last year's cheaper one. So more just like everything else that you need minus the technology so far is what we've focused on.
Which is great, right? Because you don't need to invent some new technology that costs tons and tons and tons of money and time. It's like, no
and like, like I said, we got some technology launch monitor partners that are doing a really great job. So
you're not going to be able to compete with FlightScope or anybody. You know what I mean? Like that's literally their company. So it's like, but if you are, but what you're doing is you're coming up with really cool stuff you need anyways, right? Like,
making it a better experience with the launch monitor that they buy. So
that's very impressive. Your site blew me away, man. So congratulations to you. You got a gold star.
Appreciate it.
Just for real. It's like, I've never seen it like that. Not yet. Not in 48 episodes. You just like, oh, I have a product. Oh, I made it into this. So we're selling it on our web store, or it's like, we're a big company, but not like you play the long game too, right? Which you created content that like ranked over time.
Yeah. And that's something too, like if people are listening and want to follow us more, check out our YouTube channel. We're trying to get that going. Williams, our content manager, shout out to him. He's putting out some fun stuff. Like we're putting out stuff that's not just, stuff to help you buy a golf simulator. Like we're going to put out he did a at-home golf drills series, nothing to do with our products, just, little fun little tips and tricks. That was, after watching one of his videos, is what helped me get rid of my fade.
Really?
I've had my whole,
cool.
Yeah. He was a former professional golfer, so he knows what he's talking about. He's putting out some fun stuff.
Don't be mad at you if you have more subscribers than I do.
No, we're just getting started, but
I'm just teasing you.
Yeah, like you said, like it's the long game. Like we want to just put out like fun stuff that people want to watch, and like we don't really just care about, you buy from us, cool, but also we just want to put out some good stuff and play the long game, like you said. hopefully people can be just entertained by, some of our videos too. So.
No, that's cool. Yeah. You have 1,000 subs, man. That's awesome. It's good content. That's why. That's how you can tell.
Yeah.
People don't subscribe for no reason. So
yeah. So we're excited to push more of that. Like we want to get a video out a week, coming out soon, and might just be a fun place for, anyone that's
we should do some stuff
listening
together on
is
YouTube.
interested just to check it out.
Because I'm doing a ton.
Yeah. Check out your channel, obviously.
Thanks. I appreciate
people are already
that.
probably subscribed.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Whatever. What was the name of your website again?
Hey, got it.
Shinerrain.com. No, you guys are. I like you. You're cool. You're like me. You're a smart nerd, and that's not a put down. That's like
I embrace it.
Hell that's yeah, right. Man.
That's all right with me.
I'm undercover boss nerd. Cool site. Cool site. I like what you're doing. You guys have to check out Rain or Shine Golf. They're doing it right. They have a lot of good content. It's really cool how you got some funny ass videos. He's dressed up like a wolf. What is that?
So yeah, we just want to put out some fun stuff too.
You got 62,000 views on that video. Oh, you guys could dominate. You guys need to dominate the videos on you could dominate YouTube on that, which you're already selling. You would crush, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hijack.
Working on it.
I'm gonna make a website called shinerraingolf.com. It's available. I'm gonna buy it. I just feel like rain or shine. I'll get rid of the E. So it'll be like rain or shin golf.com. I've seen it all.
Oh man. Oh yeah. We've seen some interesting stuff ourselves.
I had a guy once literally steal one of my articles and my logo. I'm copyrighted, dude. I was like, oh, you're messing with the wrong freaking dude. And so I
not the logo, but
I hit him with everything, and he pooped his pants. I took down his website. I de-indexed him on Google. I sent him a demand letter. Dude, you messed with the wrong bro. So it was funny. That's the other thing too. People piss me off when they steal content. Don't steal content. That's douchey.
Yeah, totally. Been there.
Happens all the time. Well, I'm really excited, to start working with you guys some more. I think you guys has just a phenomenal website. Cool story. This is the go-to place. And I don't really just plug other people. This is the go-to place. If you want to do a sim, go here. For reals. I might review a product for it or something, but these guys know. And they will tell you all the pieces of the puzzle, which you will not find that anywhere else on the internet. Right? So you guys have to check out Rain or Shine Golf. I'll give you guys Zach's cell number if you want to call Zach and just talk smack. UW sucks. And I don't know, I was teasing you.
Only for that.
Just kidding. But no, thanks for being on the show, Mr. Vanderveldt.
Of course.
The second.
Thanks for having me. That was fun.
And I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Behind the Golf Brand Podcast.
You're going to beat me at golf?
Stay connected on and off the show by visiting golfersauthority.com. Don't forget to subscribe, and leave a comment.
Golf is always more fun when you win.
Stay out of the beach and see you on the green.